What's up, everybody? So as a reminder, we installed some Tein EnduraPro shocks on Tesla Raj's car. Check out his channel. I'll put a link over here. It's been about a month, right, since you've been to the takeover. We didn't get a chance to meet up before due to work and whatever.
No, but I've had a lot of time to really ride on it.
Yeah, so that's great. So I've been really anxious to kind of see your feedback on it. And this is basically what we put on it. This is for an all-wheel drive version. Raj, you've got a what? A
original rear-wheel drive, long-range Model 3.
So this is the Tein rear shock. This is what the front would look like, but this is for all-wheel drive. His rear-wheel drive version has a little bit different design on the bottom. And we'll talk about what happened with regards to this when we got on your car. So first and foremost, you came in, we put iBox springs on your car like a year and a half ago.
Yep, we did the iBox springs.
We put what wheels are these again?
These are the new Aero wheels.
New Aero wheels, yep. Yeah. So new Aero wheels. Maybe we can put a link to your video on that up here too.
Sure.
So you can check that out. We'll also link you guys to our original video we shot of when Tim and I installed your suspension, your iBox springs.
That's right.
On these wheels. At that time, there were no replacement OEM shocks out on the market, so we just put the springs on his factory shocks because we needed the car to look cool for these wheels.
And it looked cool.
It did look really cool. I think after about a year and a half, it's been that the car definitely settled.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling that that ride was going to be compromised. Not only that, but we need to do a health check on the car anyways.
Yep.
Something we usually do after a few months, but again, life, kids, I think got ahead of us. So.
Yes.
As soon as we found out that there was a non-adjustable shock, so you cannot adjust the stiffness, so it's a very affordable product. I think it's under $600. I know that much, plus tax. But as soon as we found out about that, we called up Raj and we're like, I think you'd be the perfect candidate for us to put these shocks on the car. He brought the car in. We looked at the car before the takeover because we wanted to make sure everything was tight. Inspect your tires, inspect your brake pads. And in doing so, we got the car up on the rack, Tim and I, and we found out that his tires were actually starting to cord on the inside. So he needed tires. That was not an expense you expected to have.
No, but it's fine. I mean, I'm glad that we got it checked and we saw that because I'm like, all this stuff is outside of my wheelhouse. I have no idea any of this stuff.
Wheelhouse. I see what you did there.
You like that? So like, I don't know any of that stuff. So it's kind of just like tires. Somebody's got to tell me like, hey, your tires are looking, you should do it. And I'm like, it's been such a short time. But when we took them off and I could see that the metal was showing, I was like, all right, let's get those. And that just kind of like spiraled into everything else.
Man. Okay, so then we were like, okay, why are his tires wearing out unevenly? And at that time, because we were trying to keep things really affordable and feasible, I don't think you were the type of person to like modify your suspension, lower the car. I mean, you've wrapped your car, you've done other cool things, and you've shown a lot of that on your channel. But what we do and what we specialize in was kind of a foreign thing to you.
You specialize in the functionality, and I'm specializing in the fashion part. So function over fashion. And so like, I don't know anything about the function side until now. I've been really enlightened coming in here on like the wheels and the shocks and the springs and the bushings and all of this stuff is like a whole new area for me. And now it's been really enlightening.
So what happened is we pulled the wheels off the car. Tim and I were like, we can't remember what we did and did not put on your car. And that's when we were enlightened and we were like, oh shoot, you know what? We did not put an adjustable rear camber arm on the car to fix the tilt of the rear tires. So whenever you lower a vehicle, typically, especially on a Tesla, the rear wheels will tilt inward. And the more you lower the car, the more it's gonna tilt. And a lot of times you have more tilt on one side than on the other side. So the only way to get that symmetrical is to get an adjustable arm. So this arm, it's threaded here on both sides. So this is threaded. So if this was fixed and this was fixed, you could turn this and then both sides would get longer, or you can make it shorter. So you can adjust the camber with this arm. So, we kind of baited this guy over here, brought him in, was like, we're gonna put shocks on your car. And then we're like, oh shoot, now you need tires. Oh shoot, why are your tires wearing out badly? Oh, you need an adjustable camber arm. He's like, son of a
This was a typical mechanic moment where I'm like, you're just scamming me. You just want to put all this stuff in.
That hurt.
Yeah, well, you know.
That really hurt.
Let's get to what actually happened, though, because...
Okay, so we did all that.
Yeah.
We fixed the car, fixed the tilt in the wheels,
Yeah.
put new tires on it.
Thought you were scamming me.
And now what do you think?
So I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that I was like, number one, fine, the wheels need to be changed, change the wheels. And I knew number two, if the wheels are wearing on the inside, I'm cheap. I don't want to keep replacing wheels every like year or two.
Tires.
Tires.
Yep.
Fix them so that they wear like a normal car.
Right.
Like, all right, great, do that. I don't know about all other stuff, but fine, I guess if you're doing it, do it all together. And so my first trip was like the next day, I think, or within
Couple days after.
couple days.
It was, yeah.
We had the Tesla takeover down in San Luis Obispo. So that's about a 300-mile round trip.
350, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So I was just like right off the bat, and you know, like when I drove off here, I'm like, yeah, it feels okay. It feels cool. It wasn't until I took that trip and I'm on the freeway and I'm just like, man, it really felt way more comfortable. And this is like honest opinion, that you don't really realize it until you actually try something, you know, different. And because I had not driven anything else, I'm so used to driving this. Yeah, it was a little rough and it would hit the potholes. And I still won't forget that when I told you that, you were like, well, let me show you exactly, because I didn't even know what these guys did. Mm-hmm. And after the install, you actually showed me my OEM one.
Oh, that's right.
And then you showed me this one. And like, I mean, I understand how shocks work. Like you compress them and they come out. But like the OEM one, it like didn't come out. So you
it was literally like this.
And it was like,
it was so slow.
And so like that made sense. Like, you know, thinking just logically is like, all right, if you go into a pothole, it's going to compress, but it's not going to pop out quick enough, which can cause your tire to hit that pothole in a way that could cause it to explode, damage your wheel and everything. So,
or jar you. I mean, literally like.
I hit some bad ones. After all the rains, I've hit some bad potholes.
With your stock. Oh, no. With these or with the stock ones?
With the stock ones.
Okay. And
not
then,
in these.
And then you could feel the difference with.
Oh, yeah. Easy. So like now with these, and then you were even showing me too, is like this one you compress and it's like comes out like way nicer, way
faster. Yeah.
So like that just, I mean, that backed whatever I felt when I had that drive. After that drive, we drove up north. So I would say like in total, probably driven about 1,000 miles or so already on this, and it's noticeably more smooth. It's just a more comfortable ride. Like you're not feeling every bump on the road. I mean, it's not like you're gliding on air. Like to me, that's my first impression. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna feel anything. Like, no, obviously you feel the road, but it's nothing like the OEM where it was like every divot in the ground.
Nook and cranny.
Oh yeah, it was rough. And I was telling you too, it was like, don't make it like a rice rocket status. I don't want to be bouncing all over the place. And that's not the case. It's just like, just feels perfect, like really, really good. So I was impressed, and I've been thoroughly enjoying my ride and knowing that my wheels are not going to get worn out. Like
the tires and stuff in the back. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's, a lot of people go through that kind of moment, that epiphany.
Yeah.
And especially if you haven't had experience before. But, you know, I will say that Tesla has evolved its valving over the years because they've basically taken customer feedback, and they're constantly evolving like everything in the car. It's still not to a point, even in the 2023 model years, that it's near what these guys are doing at Tein. And especially at this price point, you know, we have Model Y guys who are like, you got a 23 long range. There's guys out there literally contacting Tesla and saying, I want to upgrade my suspension to the 2023 long range Model Y suspension because they change it, and then they contact us, and I'm like, okay, I think they're spending like maybe $1,000, $1,200 or something on the whole suspension kit from Tesla, and I'm like, you could literally just buy these shocks for under $700, and you know, and there's the adjustable ones. And that's all you really need. You don't need to change your springs. You don't need to do all. And
we know Tesla's like constantly like updating their stuff. Now, mine's probably the most extreme because this is this VIN is like 13,000. So this is back in 2018.
Wow.
So there's definitely been a lot of enhancements and changes, you know, throughout the years in all the vehicles. And so like prime example, like even the Y, like people are like, can I get the newer shocks? I'm on the older ones.
Yep.
But yeah, this is a great option. I would have never known had I didn't know somebody in the business that I know and feel comfortable with and like you told me hey, as a friend, I'm telling you this is good. Like, you should put this on. You will like this. And so I'm like, all right, let's do it.
And then you got the kids too in the back. So
Yep.
the back seat in our cars is even worse than the front seat.
Yeah,
So
I try not to look back there. Just keep my
Kids are
front
like
there.
bobbleheads.
But you know what else is? I feel like I'm getting better efficiency on these as well, because now your wheels are not like, whatever you call it, like angled inwards, and and that's not wearing out. And so it just overall the efficiency, I looked at it and it's got to be, I think, like what, 20 or 30.
I know you're around the 230 watt-hour per mile range.
Now, right?
Now.
Yes. And before, I would say I was probably around like maybe 280. I was closer to the threes, but I wasn't over the threes. I was definitely over the threes when I was on like 20-inch or the 20-inch wheels I was on before.
Oh,
when
you
I came
had
down,
the 20s.
That's right. That's when it was.
Were those the referral wheels or something?
Yes. They were beautiful wheels.
Oh,
but
yeah,
they were
yeah, that makes
horribly
sense.
inefficient.
Yeah.
And I was way over 300. Everyone liked the way it looks, but now I've got these that are like, a little smaller, more efficient,
Right.
and they look good. So.
And these are actually wider tires because this is what we had in stock at that time. These are 245s. They're not 235s, which he had originally. And they are an all-season compound. Made by
better
Puma.
tires.
But
So we'll be good during wintertime.
it'll be good during wintertime. They're mud and snow rated. I think also that typically we hear that people say the car, when we upgrade the shocks, that the car gets a little quieter too. Because I think the tire and the wheel is not kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, but
It's not picking up as much road noise.
Road noise,
for sure. I mean, it's still a little bit harder to tell in mine just because it's such an early VIN. So I don't even have the double pane glass. So I'm struggling with road noise in all kinds of aspects. But I would say that, that did make it affect. I mean, overall, just your overall ride experience driving was definitely uplifted for sure.
How many miles do you have on this thing now? 60?
60K, I think, yeah.
So I think now, especially the earlier models, they're all going to be up and due for shock changes. I mean, so I'm glad you did it. I think that this is something that if you guys are interested, even if you have a newer one and you want to make your car ride better, this is a really feasible upgrade. I know that we charge about $1,300 to $1,400 depending on which shocks you get installed with tax here in the Bay Area. I know that prices differ in other places, but you can always pick up the shocks from us. We'll do our best to guide you on installation if you are a DIY person. If you need a shop to install them for you, if I know somebody out there, I'll refer you to them. But yeah, Raj, I'm glad that it worked out.
I appreciate you guys enlightening me and opening my eyes to this. I've been pleased with this upgrade. And that's honesty. I'm not saying that because anyone's paying me or anything like that. But yeah, it's been good. I would not have done that otherwise. So
I am, and you drove Tim's Model Y and compared that to your Model Y.
I did.
23,
that's
remember?
Right. That was before I
So
even was even considering this or even knew about this.
Exactly.
And that one too. That one even
huge. And then we put the bearings in that one, which I think you'll be due for bushing change because you got 60-some thousand miles. The rear-wheel drive bushings do last longer than the dual motors. Mm-hmm. So that might be something next in line for you because we'll inspect those out on your next run. But the Model Y, I think that's the next one for your wife and the kids when you use that as a road car or trip car or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that we'll put the adjustable shocks in that one.
Yeah.
And that'll be a big one.
Or even I might even just get her your guys' speaker upgrade.
Oh.
Wifey likes music, and after I heard that, if she heard that, she would be all about it because she already thought the sound system sounded great. Any music. Any music.
That's the Arella audio system that he's talking about. You listened to it in my Y?
I listened in your Y, and then I
3?
watched you guys. You guys did a video on that as well.
We did a couple of videos on the Arella system.
Put that right up here, the video.
Okay, yeah, we'll put it up there. But thanks, man. I really appreciate you coming over.
Absolutely.
I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh my God, I hope Raj can feel the difference because I did when I tested it.
Because I'm a noob. I don't know anything. And I'll be honest, in the beginning, I was kind of like, yeah, sure, I feel something. But the more you drive and the longer distance, you start to really appreciate it.
And you drove that freeway. You went to take over. You've been to take over every year, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, Pismo, dude. I mean, 101.
It's just so smooth. It's so smooth.
Yes. All right, dude. It's good seeing you, man.
For sure.
Thanks
for it.
Don't forget, check out his channel, Tesla Raj. We'll link that up here. I'll put it in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. If you guys enjoy our content, we do have a Patreon. You can check that out at patreon.com/devcentric. We only have one membership level right now. It's $5 a month. Please help support us. We'll keep making cool content with you. We'll get cool guys like this to come on board and set them up and teach them the ways. Thanks for watching, guys.